Welcome to Granny Peach's Kitchen with Chris and Blair.
Okay, today we are going to be making a seafood broil. Not a seafood boil, but a seafood broil. We're going to cook this stuff in the oven, all except for the eggs. I'm going to boil them on the stove. Today we're going to have king crab, snow crab, lobster tails, eggs, corn, garlic,
and
potatoes, lots and lots of butter, and jumbo shrimp. So our seasonings today will be black pepper, Tony Chiraco Creole seasoning, garlic powder, Old Bay seasoning, and some Lawry seasoning salt. We're going to have fresh garlic, plenty of it, and also I'm going to like I said, make the boiled eggs on the stove. I'm going to have a few more things, but I got to find them in my cabinet. So as we go, I will add them, but they will definitely be in the description. So you just wait on that description and you will get everything you need to have. Okay, guys, we got started because we were working on our TikTok. So we got started a little bit quicker than I anticipated. Well, actually, we're late for TikTok, but as far as we washed the potatoes off and I scrubbed them with the little brush that we bought at the Dollar Tree here. And I scrubbed those potatoes down and we cut the corn in half. We washed it and cut it in half. And over there we have the boiled eggs and we put salt in them to make so the shells will come off quicker and easier. And so now we're going to get started. And I'm going to show you how to get the other parts of this together and put it in the pan. So, YouTube, we're over here. I'm over here trying to scrub the rest of these king crab over here. Come over here so I can do this part on here. And basically, to make sure it's nothing in there, I have a brush for my vegetable and a brush for my seafood to make sure it's nothing on there that shouldn't be on there. Blair, you can pick that up and show the king crab in the pan if you want to. So this, Chris, you're not getting this. You looking back there and getting everything else this way. So basically, this is us cleaning this up. Everything is clean. You come back over here, baby. And so now I'm going to get started on these. These lobster tails. I'm going to rinse it off before I get started cutting off of the excess stuff off. These will not cook with my other stuff. I just want to show everybody what you have to do to take these pieces off. These little gills or whatever. I take the scissors and cut them off. Blair, I'm over here, baby. So on the back, I don't know if you want to call them their feet. This is how they get around. We're going to cut these off. My hands are really weak, guys, so you got to excuse me. But this stuff is really hard to cut. But I cut these off. And after I get finished cutting them off, then I go in and I cut the other side, and I'm going to show you how I set it up. And this is the lobster tail here, guys. I will not be cooking the lobster tail in with the broil because of the time that it needs to cook. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go in, and it's a little skin. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a little skin in here. You go under that skin, and you cut this right down the middle. So if you're just cooking lobster tail by itself, guys, this is just how you do it. They ate. I had bought them 3 lobster tails, one for my son and one for each of my grandkids last night. it was for today, but I had to go out and buy some more. That's why I'm late today, because I had to rush and go get some more because they wanted it with their filet mignon last night. So, and you just kind of open it up so that you can take the lobster tail and rest it on the outside here. And this is how you'll find it when you buy it at the store. All they do is take it and bend this back and sit that on top. You see how that looks? And then they season it and have it ready for you. I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna cut. These are kitchen shears, guys. So, and once you cook this will all fluff up real pretty. You put your seasoning on it, and then you when it's all done, then you go back through and put your butter and garlic sauce on top of it after you season it. I'm gonna show you that again. Turn that.
Okay, YouTube's on.
Okay, YouTube. So this is how we're gonna, we've rinsed the lobster tail. We've cut the feet off. And we're gonna go up under this film here. And we're gonna cut the lobster tail straight down the center. All the way to the end almost. And then you're going to take it, open it up, break this open a little bit, enough so you can get the actual lobster tail to come and sit. You peel it away from the shell, and you just go in there and peel the bottom half up so you can lift it up. And then you bend this to close it here. See that, guys? And you just lay it here. And you set it out like that. I'm going to rinse this one again just as I did the other one. And I don't want to scratch my pan because this is my pan I use for my this is my pan that I use for my cake. So I'm gonna put a piece of foil in the bottom of it.
Hey, Miss Boss Friend.
Hey, boss friend. So if you have pans that you don't want to scratch.
Oh, Miss Incafish said that she never knew how to do that.
Never knew how to do what?
How to do it.
Open the lobster tail? Mm-hmm. Well, honey, you could save yourself a lot of money because these two large, and they are large, lobster tails, the two together equaled up to 1.5 pounds. So that gives you an idea of how big they are. So with that being said, you'll save yourself a lot of money buying them at the restaurant.
Do you want me to turn off YouTube or not?
Yes. Okay, guys, we have chopped up some garlic to go around these lobster tails that we're going to broil. These are the lobster tails. What I did was I didn't want to scratch my pan because these are my baking pans that I bake my cakes in. So I didn't want to...
Thank you for the flowers and the fire.
You make sure that when you put this under here so that it can catch on the outside, because when it fluffs up, it's going to be very pretty. Wait till you see it at the end. This whole thing is going to be really, really pretty. And make sure you close this down at the bottom like this, guys. Over on YouTube. YouTube, you guys have to excuse me. I am definitely working with my TikTok family. They show so much love and support. So you guys will have to share me with them over there. So with this, I've not measured out. But basically you... Chris. I have not measured out. But you can see I'm just taking the garlic powder. This is garlic powder. And I just put it over it lightly because I'm going to make a sauce that goes over this for afterwards. So I just take this.
Thank you for the money bag.
Everyone, thank you for the gifts. So basically I just take garlic powder and I put it all over it. Just lightly over it. This is the Old Bay seasoning. I'm going to take that and sprinkle it over it. And this is what I'm going to use for my seasoning to go over it all together. Make sure you get underneath. You see how underneath is kind of closed off where you won't see it? You got to season the whole thing. I'm going to flip this one around and season it. And I just sprinkle over it. I do a very little amount of seasoning salt. Very, very little. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do the seasoning salt because it comes out heavy. So I'm going to do the Tony Chiraco, Chiriz. I can't pronounce his name. Help me out. The Tony Creole seasoning. Or you can use any Creole seasoning. It has salt in it. So I'm just going to use some of that to go over it. I don't want it too salty because it's going to take away from what you're doing. So basically those are the 3 things I'm going to put over top of it for the this part of it. Then I'm going to take a few pieces of actual garlic chopped. And I'm going to put in here. Put over it. This is how I do mine. I don't know how you do yours, but the boys had it last night. And how was it, fellas?
Amazing. Well, you can talk. Amazing.
You don't have to say what he said. How did you like it last night?
It was good.
Okay, so I'm going to come back across here. That wasn't very convincing, Monkey, but it's okay. What? I'll let Mike eat yours today. Look at his face, Chris. I was joking. So I'm going to put a little bit more.
You want me to turn off YouTube?
I'm going to put a little bit more of this on for the Old Bay seasoning. And I'm going to set this to the side until we're ready for it, guys. And now I'm going to get back to that seafood broil. We got our eggs on. I'm going to put this garlic to the side really quick. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to get some more garlic together because this is what we're about to use for everything is this garlic. So, how's everybody's Sunday? If I haven't greeted you already, I can't see what everybody else can see on there. Only Chris can see. So he's my spokesperson for today, guys. Put this over here. 1 second. I'll be with you guys in 1 second. And once I get this in the oven, I'll be able to sit down and talk to you guys a little bit.
You want me to turn off TikTok?
YouTube. Turn off YouTube. I've been done with YouTube. Okay, YouTube. We have washed off everything. We placed it where we wanted it to go. Put something in here in this little space that's empty. So we have everything on here. So what I'm going to do now is take my seasoning salt you guys see over there on TikTok. Take my seasoning salt. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, TT and Mama Gizzy.
And so I'm going to season these over here too with a little seasoning salt.
Yeah, Granny making me hungry too.
We're going to take our garlic powder. And you can put it, this has no salt. I don't use garlic salt. I use garlic powder. So I can use as much garlic powder as I want. And I put it over everything. And I have a sauce that I put on after I'm done. So I'm going to put the sauce on after I'm done, guys. Chris, you're not letting anybody see what I'm doing.
Look, Granny.
Okay, come over here and season everything over here. I'm going to put water at the bottom of the pan so it can steam everything. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I have a Creole seasoning. Now that has salt in it. So with me, I have to be a little careful with this because I've already put
Thank you, Mrs. McDonald, for the gift.
Thank you all for the gifts. I've already put seasoning
awesome,
stock.
Sarah. We can see.
So, ooh, that seasoning is starting to get to Granny Peaches. So, I have to go over, and now I'm putting seasoning with, this is Old Bay seasoning that I'm putting on. I'm just sprinkling it over everything to make sure everything is seasoned. Now what I am going to do is turn my stuff over, turn my things over so both sides can get flavor. I hate to have food and only one side is seasoned, so you won't have any flavor on the other side, so when you go to take your bites, you have nothing there. So we're going to flip these things around.
Mr. Christopher, where's with these verse? He just said non-salted butter versus salted butter.
Salted butter. I like salted butter. But if you put too much salt, I will say that. If you put too much salt, no, I like when he does that because it helps out for people that don't know. So if it's no questions asked, you know, and people want to know the answer to it, they won't even be able to get the answer. So thank you, Christopher. I like salted butter unless you put too much salt. Then you use unsalted butter. So I'm going to go on and season the other side of this, guys. And then we're going to cover these up and stick them in the oven.
It's another Miss Tamara with black hearts in it.
Yeah, we have 2 Tamaras that come in. So this is the garlic powder, guys. Excuse me. I'm going back through with the Tony Chirac. I can't pronounce his last name. But here you go. Here you are. Or you can use any Creole seasoning, guys. I like this one.
Hi, Mr. Solo. How you doing? Well, people.
So, thank you everybody for coming in. I'm going to put a little Old Bay on this side. I don't want this stuff too salty, because I do have a sauce that's going over it, but I do want to season. I need the lids, Blair.
Yeah, go get the lid.
I'm going to drop a couple pieces of garlic over in here. And then I'm going to go on and cover it up and put it in the oven for about 45 minutes. I'm going to put a little bit of water under the bottom. Just enough so it can steam it. I don't want a full pan. I just want the bottom of the pan to have a little bit of water in it. See how the bottom of the pan just has a little bit. It's barely filling the bottom of the pan. That's all you want. Maybe a cup of water to fill your large pan. This is a large pan. And this had 2 pounds of crab leg. It has, oh shoot, we forgot the shrimp. I got to throw the shrimp over in there. Or you know what, better yet, I'll put the shrimp over in here with the king crab. So I'm going to close this up and we'll come back. Okay guys, we're going to go with cleaning the shrimp. These were already, these were jumbo, and they already said that they were deveined. However, I don't know if they are or they aren't, but it's the part that's in the middle. If you don't see it, can you see it now? We're going to take that out of there. I usually use a knife to take them out. Sometimes I just go ahead and break them if I'm in a rush, and just break that skin and pull it on out of there. Most of the time it comes out with one pull. Sometimes it breaks off into little pieces, but that's what I'm taking off of there. This piece right here. So we're gonna have to rinse these shrimp off again. No S at the end, but we're gonna have to clean these shrimp off again. Once we get finished, I'll take them and put them in a colander and clean them out again. Rinse them off again before I pour them over in with the seafood. There it is. I'm going to pull this out of here. Okay, YouTube, this is the finished product for the seafood broil. These are the actual lobster tails that were made in the oven on broil for 10 minutes. They weighed about 75. Well, it was a pound and a half, so half of a pound, so it's about 24 ounces that it was, and it took about 10 minutes to broil on low in the oven on the bottom shelf. You don't want it on the top because it will burn, so I did 10 minutes on the bottom shelf and I broiled it.